Blessings, beautiful beings. Welcome to Sacred Creators. My name is Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time, hi. Today's video is going to be about self-concept and affirmation around your self-concept. So what is a self-concept? Just to jump into it, self-concept is the idea that you have about yourself, the way you evaluate yourself, the way you perceive yourself, your potential, and the basic model of you. That is your self-concept, how you think about yourself, what you think your potential is, this kind of thing. And the reason why I wanted to speak about this was from my last video was about choosing your goals and allowing non-resistance about having your goals. And what I found in this was that, first of all, it was amazing to write down the stuff that I want, and I've been writing them down every day, and I have been seeing movement. And writing down your goals every day for me personally was a great way for me to start the day so that I can refresh my memory what it is that I'm doing today, where I want to be propelled to. So writing those goals down and being non-resistant about having them and daydream about having them and so on, practicing not having resistance towards attaining those goals, and that was great. But what I found was that when I did start to visualize or daydream or fantasize, that I would run up against some kind of challenge, or in the daydream something would go wrong, or I wouldn't know how to do something, and I would get a feeling over me of doubt and of worry, and I can't do this, and I fell flat on my face again. So the way that I chose to do this, I was like, right, there is some kind of resistance happening here. I'm really happy with the goal that I have. I know it's for me, it feels really good. But when I start playing the tape about it, I'm running across all these self-initiated challenges for some reason. There is something blocking me from dreaming freely. It's my own dream, you know, I want my life and my goals to go very well for me, but there is some kind of subconscious programming that is presenting me with things, all the things that could go wrong even within my conscious dream. So I have constructed some ways on how to overcome this if this happens to you, like it has happened to me, and what has worked for me to build up the non-resistance. Because I think overall the way to get what you want is for your energy to flow in that direction freely. So the way that energy works, the way that electricity works, is that it's always in a constant movement, it's in a constant flow. When you stop the flow of electricity, it is off, it doesn't function anymore. So when the flow is constant, there's constant light coming through. So this is what I believe is really important to generate before even stepping out and acting towards the goals, that you want to feel the constant flow of going towards it without a resistance. And I'm going to show you the way to do that. So first of all, you want to choose one goal. Now, what I have dabbled with is, when in a fantasy kind of stage, having a list of goals and imagining how I would think, feel, act if all of them were to come true or be actualized. And what I found was it was a bit confusing for my brain personally, and the way that I would act and feel would be different, felt different for each goal. And I'll speak a little bit more about that later on. But what I chose to do in this instance was, because I was feeling confused and I don't want to have that within that resistance, I chose to one goal. And one goal that I feel like I'm moving towards, I have not achieved it yet. So actually one of my goals was to start a YouTube channel and develop my spiritual practice, my practice of manifestation, of healing, and so on. And I'm doing it now. I'm on the way there. I'm making these videos as often as I can. I am doing the research. I am reading books. I am writing. I am sharing the things that I have found and so on. It's just a case of being consistent and persistent with this, and still having the urge to help people, which I do from the bottom of my heart. I really do. And that's why I'm making these videos, to help myself, to see what works for me, and maybe it works for you, and to share some nuggets and stuff that I found along the way. So I digress. So choose a goal, just one of them. And when you choose it, I want you to write down, this is just for one, but you can do it for all. So I want you to write down why it is that you want this goal, and just a few steps you can think of how to get it, or how to make it happen. Now, I don't want you to necessarily think like I'm going to take action on them, but just jotting a few, it's more like ideas. So if I do want to start a bottled water company, you know, and I decide I really want it. Why do I want it? I want it because I want to make quality water for people to thrive. I want to make it in glass bottles instead. I want to have a high pH. I want people to thrive and feel alive and electrified, and just have great quality in them so that they can be their best potential. That's the why. So what kind of steps can I make to making this happen? Well, maybe I can start researching different source points in the world where the best quality water is. Maybe I can start sketching out how the bottle is going to look. Maybe, you know, this kind of stuff. Just a few steps, and this is to get your brain on the vibration of that thing, of the frequency of that thing, because everything is a frequency. There's a frequency for creating that brand. There's a frequency for being an artist. There's a frequency for, you know, finding the right partner for you. All this kind of stuff. There is a frequency for it. So when you start to think about it, your thoughts are frequencies. So when you start to think about it, then it automatically puts you in alignment with it. Now, whether you think positively or negatively, or if you think you can get it or not, that's a different thing. But just on a neutral tip, think about it. What would it be like to have it? Do you want it? Yes. Why? Yes. And a few, you know, 1, 2, or 3 ideas. They're just ideas at this point. You don't need to take any action for now. It's just to get you excited. You don't need to worry about how am I going to do it. You know, I don't know anyone, you know, just jot down a few ideas. Like, yeah, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And if you are meeting any resistance about it, take note of it, because I'm going to show you ways, following up, how to move through any kind of resistance. So let's say for now, you've jotted down 3 things that you could do to embark on this, and this gets you into the vibration, you're thinking about it, so you're on the right track. Okay, so with this resistance thing, what I tried to do was, I was writing, which was very helpful, was to write, what is it that I'm resisting? What is the feeling in me? Like, oh, where am I gonna get the money from? I don't know any sources, you know, I don't have people around me, I don't have the time to do it, I'm already in a different job, so what's the point? Okay, so write down all the reasons why you're bumping up against the resistance, because they are really valid reasons, and it's really good to have a look at it on paper rather than continuously feel it and have it whirling around your head all the time. So I can see, like, this is what I'm working with, this is my self-concept. So all those negative or low vibrational thoughts that you have about attaining that goal, perfect, the more the merrier. Write them down and understand that this is my self-concept about this thing, and these things need to change in order for me to move forward with this. Because if I continue to think like this, that I can't, then I won't. How else? I'm the one that's going to be doing this. This is my dream. So how else am I going to do this if I don't move through it? So I have a concept here for how you can move through this. And this is by creating general affirmations of belief and rebuilding your self-concept and your whole belief system before you get specific about anything. Like we need to install the whole belief system inside of you, because it's mostly just a confidence thing. And the more that we get into the laws, is that we understand that this is law. Everything that you want you can have, but you have to abide by certain rules, and the rules are all energetic. So once we get ourselves into an energetic place of flow, then we are able to move forward. You know, we're opening the gates, we're opening the doors so that we can move forward. So examples. Now, I had created a list of general affirmations for myself to instill the belief in the law. So, for example, what have I written here? I am the creator of my own reality. I can have whatever I want. Life is for me. I am a master at manifestation. Things always go my way, best case scenario. I am always having great opportunities come to me. This kind of stuff, like, but what I found, this is great, you know, this is really wonderful, and just building up your self-confidence and like your belief system that things are working out for you and that life is for you and that you always get what you want, because that is what you want to pull in, even if you don't feel like it at the moment because of your situation, because you don't have. We also need to understand that we are magnets, and the more that we reprogram ourselves is the more that new concept is going to harden, and that becomes our new belief system, because the current belief system is that you can't and you don't have it, and that's why you don't, because we haven't got that foundational core belief system that says I can have, say, be, do anything that I want. Great things are always happening for me, and command your situation. Opportunities are flying here, there, and everywhere. My business is doing great. I'm earning X amount of money per month. Even though you aren't, you need to build inside of you an energetic that you are, and that great things are coming to you. Leave out specifics, but we're just going to go general for now, okay? What I found personally when I was writing and saying the word I, it was creating still some kind of resistance, because I have been identifying with myself as a person. So when I think about, you know, I'm always successful, things are always going well for me, that kind of language has, for me personally, what I found difficult was separating the person me and the spiritual essence me, the God me. And as you probably already know, the I am is God. And the way we use the word I generally when we're speaking to each other is I as a person. So what it had created inside me was this act that I am the one that's in control of everything. I'm going to do it. It's me. I'm in control. I'm going to get this. Me, I. But actually, in essence, it was building resistance in me, because it felt so heavy on my responsibility to do it as a person and not as a true essence, a spiritual essence. So I had to rethink about my concept of I, and remember that I is not me, the person, the personality. It is I, the I that is within me, the I that is the essence of me, is the spirit, which is God. So it kind of took the pressure off me acting and going out and doing, which is kind of what we're trying to balance out in society, in this realm, is that we have had an influx of doing and masculine outward energy, external energy, pushing, going, using your energy, which is absolutely fine. But what is happening is that we need to have more balance. So it is pouring more creativity, flow, allowing, receiving, playfulness, this kind of flow, pouring that into the mix, not completely eliminating the masculine energy, but actually having balance. And that's what life is all about. We need to have balance. One is not better than the other on the energetic scale. It's just about having balance. So the way that I accomplish this feeling, if you feel like saying I works for you and you want to build on that and start there, that's great. I have tried it, and what I found was better for me was to use the word God. So God, source, energy, whatever you want to call it, the all, you add in what that means to you. And so what I wrote, instead of I accomplish every goal I set for, I accomplish every goal that I set, I wrote God accomplishes every goal. God is a guaranteed success. God has got my back. God always creates miracles. God expects the best. God focus is my currency. God always comes up on top. God is my provider. God always provides. God is a flow of non-resistance. So when I write and I say those kind of things to myself, I felt empowered. My energy lightened up a lot. Like I said, you do you. If that doesn't work for you, or if doesn't feel right for you, don't do it. Focus on your I. But for me, I am still experiencing some conflict with the word I and having that separation. So for now, I'm going to use God. It feels better for me. Try it at home, see how you feel about it. So once you make those kind of nourishing, open affirmations, everything works out for me. I always get what I want, or better, things are always going in the right direction. God is successful because it is itself, its true essence. Or I am successful because I am myself. However you want to put it, just take a general approach towards creating these empowering affirmations and see by the way that you feel. When you write them, make sure you feel good about it. If it isn't creating resistance, that's great. Write it down, read it back to yourself. So once you've got a few of them, I've got maybe here like 15. You can have as many as you like. So what I did next was I started to fantasize. So fantasizing looks like I can do it with my eyes closed. I can also do it laying down, taking 5 minutes. So in terms of timing, I found that once I was like, you know what, I'm going to fantasize about this. And I was like, let me try just for a minute. The minute was way too short for me. Minute, 2 minutes was too short. 3 minutes was too short. I would propose more than 3 minutes. A fantasy that worked well for me was about 8 minutes was a great time for me. Or you can explore longer. See what works for you. I think that is the biggest thing about figuring out how to have what you desire in life, is just figuring out how you operate, what your patterns are, what you run up against, and move through them in a way that works for you. So I started to fantasize again, and I fantasized on one of my goals that I would like to have. And it felt really good knowing that I had made all these general affirmations, so that if I ever came up, and I did come up in my fantasy, something that I couldn't do or I was worried about, or like how am I gonna get that, would just pop into the fantasy, I would immediately replace it with God's got my back. Everything always works out. God always comes up on top. God knows what to do. God knows how to handle that. Let's go. And the more I kept nourishing that, is I was able to move through my fantasy, over that thing, through that thing that I wasn't sure about or didn't know what to do or how it would go. Everything goes well. With God, everything goes well, or everything goes well for me. I can have what I want. You know, it is safe for me to fantasize and have what I want. And use whatever affirmation it is just to smoothly go for it, because you calm down your nervous system, you creating your own panic, your own anxiety about something in the future that hasn't happened. But this is remember, this is a very light and playful thing, so just go for it in the moment. And when those things come in, you remember your general affirmation. Things always work out for me. I always get what I want or better. I'm a master at manifesting. I can learn new skills. God will always present me with a way to learn how to do this. It is natural for me to use this computer or use this technology. It's so natural. In this fantasy, it's very natural. I've learned how to do all these things. And just build it up. Just build it up. Just build it up until one time when you start to fantasize, you get a little bit further in your fantasies and you don't have anything coming in your direction that sets you off or gets you to worry, because you have something, you have your belief system set up. And this is what it's about. It's your self-concept. You're setting up your self-concept in your fantasy before you've even gone out and done anything. By practicing this, you are hardening your self-concept. And actually, Neville Goddard said, in order to harden your self-concept, it takes repetition, it takes practice, and it takes persistence. And this is all in your favor. It's a fun thing to do. Please don't feel militant about it. Please don't force anything. If anything feels forced, don't do it. Don't do anything that feels forced. If it doesn't feel like it's flowing, don't trying to force yourself or have some kind of conflict, because it just defeats the whole purpose of fantasizing. And yeah, going from my last video, kind of milking the fantasy of having your goal without resistance. It's the same kind of practice, but with the self-concept, affirmations and belief system. You're creating a belief system for yourself so that you can go out and attain those goals without any problems, interruptions. When a doubt comes in, when worry comes in, when fear comes in, when guilt comes in, you come in with your open-ended, beautiful belief system. I can always get what I want. Things will always work out for me. I am looked after. And you continue on and you continue on. And if something else comes up, things always work out for me. Do you see what I mean? I hope that you understand what I mean here. So this has really worked for me. Building up a self-concept, building up a belief system that is strong, that is confident, that is much needed to move forward and have what you want in life. Because the things that you want to have in your life are absolutely amazing and you deserve them. Any idea that you have is an idea that has been given to you and gifted to you by God. And if you don't take that idea, it doesn't matter. It is there for you. You can always go back to it. You can always receive new ideas, but it's just, how do you treat the ideas or the goals that you have? And we want to treat them with the utmost respect. We don't want to be our own Debbie Downers. You need to build yourself up and not rely on other people to build yourself up or say, that's a good idea, you should go for that. You know, it's really helpful when you have friends and family to support you, but you need to be your own supporter, because when your friends and family aren't around and you're off in the world on your own, you need to be the one to tell yourself how amazing you are and how you're taken care of and how things are always working out for you. Best case scenario, you know, that God has got your back at all times and things always go your way. You need to expect that things are going to work out for you. Every single time you go out to do something, you've got to expect the best case scenario, you know, expect the best and get used to expecting the best. I haven't been used to that. That is not something that I have learned from a child. It's something that I'm instilling in myself now. This is going to work out for me, and if it doesn't, that's okay. I'm going to learn from that situation, but I'm coming in with the energy that things are going to go well. Because when you come into an energy that things aren't going to go well, guess what's going to happen? Your energy is going to be off. Your energy, you're putting out a low vibration, and we want to start out here. Let's say you want to talk to someone, and you are really nervous about speaking to this person. You're not sure how it's going to go. Maybe it's like a sensitive topic or whatever. If you go into that situation thinking and really feeling like, oh my god, this is going to go so bad, you know, it might not, but the fact that you're walking in with that energy is not helpful, and you're relying on the other person to pick it up. And we don't want to rely on other people's energy. We want to meet them in harmony. So anyway, what I'm saying is, go general. Work on your self-concept. What do you believe about yourself? What do you think and feel that you can do? What are your powers? What is your potential? And trust me, your potential is a lot higher than you think it is. Go general with your affirmations, fantasize, and whenever you feel outside of your fantasy, whenever you feel in a day worry or doubt that you can't do anything or so on, or it's not worth it or blah, 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 assess yourself, check yourself, and reaffirm it with your new self-concept that everything always works out. It is the law. The law says that you ask for something, you believe you can have it, and you can have it. You stay in alignment, and these affirmations will keep you in the flow of God and keep you in the alignment that you need to continue on in the path. Of course, if you're doing something that, you know, is dangerous, or you know, there is some kind of ill wish for someone, that's a completely different story. But let's just say that, you know, this is specific to you. You have something that you want in your life. You want a car, you want to have a good life, you want to go on more vacations, you want to have a better career, you want to look a certain way, like whatever it is, just go for it, and make sure that whenever those doubts come in, that you and then you put in a new affirmation for yourself. This video turned out a lot longer than I thought, but I really have had great results with this, and I wanted to share this with you and explain it to you in the best possible way. Let me know how you go with writing your goals down, with why you want them, and a few steps or ideas of how to get them without action, just for fun, and also creating a strong self-concept for yourself. That's it for today. I hope that you practice. We're all scientists in this field. I would love to hear how it went for you, and I'm really excited to hear how it went. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.